up against Cole and Kendrick. I'm excited that the decade's about to turn and we're gonna see who can go that extra stretch.
Three-headed monster.
Yeah.
Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey or me? We the big three like we started a league, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali.
Kendrick, to me, is the most electrifying vocalist of this generation. Would you agree with that?
I absolutely would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Kendrick is at the very top tier of lyricists, not just of this generation, but of all time.
It looks like there's a rap battle on the horizon, and no one seems to have expected it. Recently, the news broke that Kendrick actually dissed Drake in his new song in Future's album. This provocative incident has shocked the entertainment industry to the core. Let's delve into the nitty-gritty deets of this feud that has been having fans rocking in their seats. Rapper Future and music producer Metro Boomin dropped their most anticipated joint album titled We Don't Trust You, featuring artists including Travis Scott, Playboi Carti, The Weeknd, Rick Ross, and Kendrick Lamar. One thing we know about feuds is that they stretch for long periods of time. And Lamar started just that when he was featured on the song Like That. The song sent social media in a frenzy after seemingly dissing rappers Drake and J. Cole with lyrical references to the pair's joint song. Lamar directly referenced the rappers' bars and came after them, rapping, "Yeah, get up with me. F sneak dissing. First person shooter. I hope they come with 3 switches. Meffer the big 3. Guys, it's just big me." Once Lamar decided to lay it on thick, he didn't mince his words. He targeted the jugular, as in the next verses he claimed that the music quality of both artists was subpar. Lamar claimed that his legacy will outlast their influence, comparing himself to Prince and his relationship to Michael Jackson. We all know that their mutual hostility was tied to the burning ambition that drove these two visionaries. Anyway, Lamar did a number on Drake by saying, "Your best work is a light pack. Guy, Prince outlived Mike Jack. Guy, bum for all your dogs get buried. That's a K with all these 9s. He gonna see Pet Cemetery." Now, the thing is that the dig wasn't uncalled for. It all started when Drake and J. Cole released songs First Person Shooter, which included in Drake's For All the Dogs album. On that song, J. Cole made mention of the Big 3, referring to Lamar, Drake, and himself, saying, "Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K. Dot? Is it Aubrey or me? We the Big 3, like we started a league." To which Drake reported with a bar that could be interpreted as a diss at Lamar, exuding him from the Big 3 designations. He raps, "Who the GOAT? Who you bees really rooting for? Like a kid that act bad from January to November. Guy, it's just you and Cole." So Drake took the beef to another level by firing posts about the situation without giving Lamar the satisfaction of a return diss. This tie around it wasn't a long rant but a snap with a directed caption. You might already be aware that Drake is enjoying a Big As The What tour with J. Cole. Drake posted a picture saying, "I ain't picking up, I'm in the Turks, lil' baby," which is a verse from Nav's song, who has already unfollowed Drake. Fans believe that Nav has picked a side, and it's definitely not Drake's. Apart from that, things weren't really well between them from the beginning. Their history together goes back more than 10 years, and at the time, they used to collaborate and were pretty civil with each other. The duo has collaborated on several songs and albums, including Poetic Justice and F Problems. Lamar even accompanied Drake on his Club Paradise tour in 2012, which sold almost 750,000 tickets and grossed nearly 43 mil. However, their rap beef seemingly went public after Lamar's August 2013 verse on Big Sean's song Control, in which he called out several rappers including Drake, J. Cole, Big Sean, Mac Miller, and A$AP Rocky by saying, "I got love for you all, but I'm trying to eliminate ya. Trying to make sure your core fans never heard of ya. They don't want to hear not one more noun or verb from ya." And this verse literally changed the hip-hop scene for good. Even Big Sean claimed that Lamar was out of line.
That dude's, man, that's my homie. He called me and we was talking about it. And, you know, it's just in all fun games and sports, man. It's like, it's cool that hip-hop can do that without it being violent like it used to be, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Do you think that he outshined you at all, Sean, on the song?
Yeah, I think that name dropping really took it over the top for sure.
It's quite interesting that even 50 Cent took notice of Lamar's talent for writing gritty lyrics. 50 claimed that unlike what people may think, Lamar had a reason behind his reckless action. 50 explained that Lamar had the spontaneity to his actions that no one would believe it was a calculated strike.
Kendrick is always going to be a media dog. And I told him, I said, because he has the ability to make you believe he had no idea this was going to happen. Like, I look at him and I go, Nah, you can't do that to me. You knew what you was working.
Drake responded to this diss later that month in an interview with Billboard. He said, "It just sounded like an ambitious thought to me. I know good and well that Kendrick's not upping me at all, in any platform." After Drake dropped his fourth album, Nothing Was the Same, in October of that year, speculation about whether Lamar dissed him in October 2013 during the BET Hip Hop Awards grew. And not only that, but fans also believed that the two would never be on good terms again. For those who don't remember, he said, "Yeah, and nothing's been the same since they dropped Control," and tucked a sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes. Drake later acknowledged the feud and reflected on the situation during an interview with Vibe. "I never once said he's Kendrick, a bad guy, or I don't like him. I think he's an effing genius in his own right, but I also stood my ground as I should. And with that came another step, which then I have to realize I'm being baited and I'm not gonna fall." In 2014, Lamar finally addressed the situation directly and referred to Drake as the kid with the motor mouth on his song Language, later saying, "And in our friendship, baby, I'd rather die alone." Throughout the years, the pair fired shots at each other consistently through their songs as they made savage digs at one another. Allegedly, their rivalry finally reached a boiling point when they got into a verbal confrontation, which was allegedly caught on camera. However, the management destroyed the tape. Although the two have stemmed away from public insults of one another in recent years, the feud is in fact still at large. Now, Eminem, who usually keeps to himself, also claimed that despite the ongoing feud, Lamar was able to show his true lyrical prowess.
Kendrick, to me, is the most electrifying vocalist of this generation. Would you agree with that?
I absolutely would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Kendrick is at the very top tier of lyricists, not just of this generation, but of all time.
Well, others might have to disagree a little. You see, DJ Academics didn't waste time and picked Drake's corner. AK believes that based on recent footage of Drake being on his phone at a club, he's going to F Kendrick Lamar up. Of course, this is a pretty big conclusion to draw off just some screen time surrounded by partygoers and loud music, but he thinks that he's deep in his writing and his arsenal of bars. Another theory is that DJ proposed is that, like that, verse is actually a trap, and that Kendrick Lamar has way more dirt in the vault. If Drake or J. Cole even responded, that is. Fans believe that Kendrick wasn't dissing Drake, as he just has a competitive streak. People be taking Kendrick's disses like they actual disses, bro. Dude just being competitive and staying on top. I remember he called out Drake, Big Sean, Mac Miller, and others, and I think Mac was the only one who actually took him for what it was. That's also because they were cool. However, Drake's still holding on the hurt after all these years. Apart from Lamar, fans still believe that Future also has a bone to pick with Drake. You see, since Lamar disses Drake on Future's album, there's no way the verses didn't come up before release. It's quite surprising as Future and Drake have a long history of collaboration on joint projects. There's also already signs pointing to some issues before this. Drake and Metro were at odds in 2023, when Metro expressed disappointment in a post on X about the lack of awards in his 2022 Heroes and Villains album, and got compared to Drake and 21 Savage's Her Loss. Metro's project technically garnered more streams than Her Loss, and both albums were later nominated for a Best Rap Album at the 2024 Grammy Awards. The boys seemed to catch wind of Metro's disappointment, and before 2023 was out, Drake posted a video last year calling out the tweet and deleters, which many fans saw as a dig at the producer for posting his criticism of Her Loss, then deleting it from X. Soon after, Metro clarified that his issues with Drake were not deep at all. It is undeniable that Future has made a lot of hit songs with Drake, however, and if we look closely at their interactions, one might find considerable friction between the two. Anyway, that's it for today. See you all in the next one. Goodbye.